Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review, and today I have the brand new Amazon Echo Buds. Now, this is a second generation product from Amazon, and they've made some pretty cool improvements to the original product with this release, starting with their smaller size. These are actually 21% smaller than the original Echo Buds, which may seem like a tiny bit of difference until you actually slide these into your ears and realize how comfortable they are. Now, I bought the original Amazon Echo Buds the day they were released, and I've used them ever since, and I like the product an awful lot. But when these arrived, I thought I'd do a side-by-side comparison between the fit and the feel of the two products, and what I find is the original Amazon Echo Buds are very comfortable in your ears, but because they're heavier and they're bigger, you're very aware of the fact that you're wearing earbuds. And when you turn your head, you can feel them a little bit. Now, you'll get used to them over time, but you're very aware of the fact that you have earbuds in. With these, because they're smaller and they're lighter, when you pop them in, you tend to forget you've got them. I mean, you're listening to music, you should remember that, but you tend to forget you've got them because they're not as obvious in your ears. So I think the fit is great. But the interesting thing is, I've tested a lot of earbuds over the years, and when you find smaller earbuds, they tend to reduce the audio quality. They shrink the frequency response of those earbuds, and what you suffer from is very bad bass. You lose a lot of the bass with the smaller earbuds. They tend to be very high-end specific and tinny, so they're probably okay for telephone calls, but they're horrible for music. But somehow Amazon was able to shrink these down by 21% and still maintain an incredibly rich bass and really crisp highs. So it gives you, I would say, better quality even than the original ones in a smaller package, and that's a wonderful thing. Another thing they changed, which I think is really important, is they introduced an advanced venting system between the inside and the outside of the earbud, because when you have this in your ear and you're working out and you're sweating and you're jogging, pressure can build up in the inside of your ear canal and it has to be able to get out. If you've got too tight a fit and you don't have a venting system, the earbud can actually prevent that pressure from escaping from your head, and that can cause vertigo and headaches and all kinds of problems down the road. These have a venting system that allows that pressure to sort of escape outside your ear, and you know you're in trouble if you're using a set of earbuds. When you put them in and you work out for a little while and then go to pull them out and you hear a pop, that's a really bad thing. That means there's pressure inside your ear that should have gotten out that couldn't because of the earbuds. Again, that venting system prevents that. Another thing they did, which really improves the comfort, is they shortened the tube inside that actually delivers the audio to your ear canal. A lot of the cheaper, less expensive models that are out there have a really long ear tube, and when you pop them in, they're comfortable on the outside, but that tube inside your ear canal can irritate the ear canal over time. So if you're working out and you're moving a lot or you bump them, you can cause issues with the ear canal. With these, they've shortened that tube, still delivering the same quality sound, but not having that irritation inside the ear tube. So those are some of the physical things they did. Now, there's a lot of technological differences as well, starting with their active noise canceling. They've improved that tremendously. So when you turn that on, it basically shuts down all the noise around you and really lets you concentrate on what's coming through your ear. They've also introduced better microphones. So if you're using this for conference calls, maybe you're working from home or you're getting on Skype calls, these are wonderful for that because they reduce the outside noise and pick up better quality of your audio so people can hear you more clearly. In addition to that, they've also got a pass-through mode, which is super important because if you're out and about jogging, you don't want to be completely isolated from your outside surroundings. You want to be able to hear cars coming and people talking to you, so you can actually put it in pass-through mode, which allows you to hear some of the outside noise while still hearing your music, and all of that's controlled just by touching the earbuds. Now, there's a couple of ways you can control them. They're programmable through the application, and you can program 4 different things: a single tap, a double tap, a triple tap, and a tap and hold. And it's again configurable, deciding on what those different functions are, all configured through the application. The unit itself is sold in 2 versions. You can get it as a wired charging through a USB-C connection on the back. You can also get it as a wireless charging model. This one is a wireless charging, so all I have to do is drop that on a Qi pad and it'll start charging, and it charges very quickly, and there's a battery inside the case that the units themselves will give you about 5 hours of use on a full charge. When I drop them inside the base, they'll recharge. 15 minutes of charge gives you another, I think, 2 hours worth of use out of them, but there's enough charge in the case to actually recharge them twice more. So you've got 5 hours per charge, 2 more charges in the case, which means if this is fully charged, I can go 15 hours of music just by recharging with the case, which is pretty nice. The LED on the front has got 3 different states, actually 4 different states. It's got green, which means they're fully charged, or I should say over 40%. If it's red, orange, it's under 40%, and if it's red, it means it's really, really low. But if you take them home like I do and sit them down on one of the Qi pads and let them charge overnight, you'll have a full day of use out of no worries whatsoever. All right, so I wanted to do a quick unboxing as well. There's not a lot inside the box. You'll get the charging case, you get the 2 Echo Buds, you get a nice USB-C cable. It's got a full-size USB-A on one end and a USB-C on the other end. So you can connect that up to any USB charger and charge these guys. If you buy the wireless version, just drop them on a wireless pad and you're good to go. Because everybody's got different size ears, I mean, some have big, some have small, mine tend to be big. There are different tips on the end. They give you a bag of tips you can try from small all the way up to large. Take your time, make sure you get a good fit on those tips when you put them in your ears. And again, if you're putting it in your ear and it pops when you pull it out, the tip is probably too large. So find one that's comfortable. You basically insert it in your ear and spin it slightly, and it'll actually hold in your ear. And the way you'll know that is, if you look closely, you'll see a little smile on the outside. That smile should be down, just like a regular smile. Also included with the kit are what they call wing tips, which can be used on the outside of the unit, and they have little like edges on them. I'll show you a closer look at all these things in a second, but they have a little edge on them, so when you swing it in your ear, that little rubber piece actually fits up inside this part of your ear and holds them in place. And those are really helpful if you're going to be doing a lot of jogging. Also in the kit is a full instruction manual that explains everything you need to know about the unit, how to program them, what the different touch things do on the outside. There's a care and feeding guide, which tells you how to take care of them, don't get them wet, make sure you charge them safely, wipe them off after you've used them a while, especially if you're jogging. And then there's another card in there that gives you some cool things you can do, because the beautiful part about these, in addition to connecting up to your phone over Bluetooth, is that they're Alexa enabled. So you can actually shout at these like you would any smart speaker in the home that's an Amazon product and have it do things. Tell me the weather, tell me the time, tell me a joke, play some music by a certain artist, and it'll pick that up and actually start that with whatever device you paired it to, which is pretty cool. In addition to that, they work with Siri, so you Apple folks are going to be fine. They also work with Google, the native Google application. So they're kind of versatile in that respect, that you can use them with a lot of different products. And again, I've used them for listening to music when I'm out and about. I've also used them for conference calls at home when I'm on a stream with one of my customers or one of my friends. And they're small enough in your ear where they're not obtrusive. They're not sticking out like a lot of the headsets out there. So you can use them. You don't look goofy with a big headset on, and you get great quality audio out of them. Now, if you stay tuned, next what I'm going to do is take a closer look at everything that's included with the kit, just to explain what the case looks like, what the buttons do, and things like that. And then I'll come back with a few things to keep in mind if you're looking for a set of earbuds like this that you'll want to compare to other products that are on the market, because this market is exploding. There are tons of companies that make these kind of earbuds. You probably know all the big players out there today, but there are a couple of key features you're going to want to keep in mind if you're in the market for something like this that you can use to compare one product against another. So stay tuned, we'll take a closer look, and then I'll come back with some final comments. Inside the EchoBuds kit, you'll find a full instruction manual, an important information guide that'll help you get the best value out of the product, as well as a card with a few voice commands you can try to get used to using the product. You'll also find a bag of ear tips that allow you to adjust it to give you the best possible fit for your ear size, and also a set of wing tips that can be used to secure it in your ear if you're doing athletic activities. These attach to the outside of the EchoBuds and give you a really secure fit if you're jogging or working out. You'll also find a full-size USB-A to USB-C cable that can be used to charge it in the charging case. And the unit itself has got a really nice ergonomically designed case. It's nice and smooth on the outside, really high durable plastic. You'll find a USB-C connection on the back that can be used to charge it while they're in the case, or if you buy the wireless version, you can just set it down on a Qi charger, it'll start charging. When you open up the case, you'll find the two EchoBuds. These are labeled on the back, left and right. That's the right one. And you'll find they're magnetically attached to the case. When you drop them in, they'll actually find the home position and start charging. So they're pretty smart in that respect. On the back of the unit, you'll actually find the connections here. These are the connection pads to do the charging. And over here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little infrared sensor, and that lets this particular EchoBud know that it's in your ear, because it senses your ear right there once you put it into your ear canal. Drop them back in the case and they'll start charging. On the front of the unit, there's an LED. Green means you're above 40% charge left in the battery. If it's orange, you're under 40%. And if it's red, that means you need to charge it because you're really low on power. I hope you found that helpful, and here are a few things to keep in mind when you're comparing this product against others you may be considering to make sure you get the best possible value. And the first has to do with the way you charge the product. The latest version of Amazon EchoBuds are available in a wireless and a wired version. And I went with the wireless version because I like the fact that I've got a lot of cheap pads around my house, a lot of the wireless pads that I use with my phones and other devices, and I can just drop these on that pad and they'll immediately start charging. But you'll notice if you look around back that even the wireless version has a USB-C connection on it, which means I can use a wireless charging pad when I'm home, but if I'm out for the day and I'm in my car and they start running down on power, if they didn't have that USB-C connection on the back, I'd have no way to charge them. A lot of other products on the market are either wirelessly charged or wired charging, and you don't get an extra port in the back of it. So I think it's really nice that Amazon built in the USB-C port, which gives me the ultimate flexibility to charge it at home on a pad when I'm around a pad, or charge it through a USB-C cable when I'm out in the field. I also like the fact that they give you a USB-C cable, so it's a full-size USB-A in this end and a USB-C in this end. And I know we all have cables laying around the house, and you probably have a lot of USB-C cables, but having one that comes with the kit means I can keep these together, and I've always got a way to charge this thing when I'm out in the field. Another important thing to check when you're looking at another product and comparing it to this is the number of ear tips that come with it, because you have different size ears than I do. These are different sizes compared to each other. It's important you have a variety of ear tips that you can try in the end of this to make sure that you get the perfect fit for your ear. And again, you want to have at least 2 different ear tips, 3 or 4 would be even better, and that gives you the widest variety of comfort fit for your ear. And again, as I'd mentioned earlier in the clip, you want to make sure you pick an ear tip that fits in your ear comfortably, but isn't really hard to pull out. So don't go with a really big tip that'll give you a secure fit. Try to go one size lower so there's a little bit of play in there, so when you pull it out, you don't hear that pop. Another nice feature they built into this, which some of them have, some don't, is what I'll call the wingtips, which are things that actually pop on the outside of the earbuds. If you're jogging or you're doing any kind of motion, maybe you're working out, you want to have those on because that gives you a little extra firmness in your ear. It's a little like a little edge that pops up inside your ear. It's nice and soft, but it'll give you a little extra support, so when you're shaking your head or you're moving around, they're not going to pop out. A lot of the models on the market are classified as sport models, and they have those built in. And those are great when you're working out, but if 80% of the time you're using these to do conference calls or maybe walking around the house where you're not doing a lot of aggressive activity, you really don't want those on all the time because they're not the most comfortable. They're great when you need them, but you want to be able to take them off. So the fact that these actually have them as a separate product that I can put on when I need them and take them off when I don't is a really big advantage. All right, another thing from the technological side is you want to make sure that it's got really good active noise canceling. A lot of the products in the market say noise canceling, but they're not active noise canceling, which means all they're really doing is reducing the outside noise by making tighter fit in your ear, and maybe they've got a little digital technology. This one actually listens through the microphone to noises around you on the outside and reduces that through technology to minimize that by the time it gets to your inside of your ear. And they do a phenomenal job of quieting things down. So if you're out in a busy, noisy environment, the music's going to come through and it's going to be crystal clear. And the important thing there is that if it doesn't have really good noise canceling, the tendency is for you to crank up the audio to a higher volume to overcome that outside noise, and that's a terrible thing for your ears. So with these, you can listen to it at a lower volume and still get that crystal clear quality. I also love the fact that they have a pass-through mode, because if I'm out and about and I'm in traffic or I'm around people, I may want to hear people around me, so I can put it in pass-through mode, which allows some of that outside noise to get in, so I can hear people asking me questions or talking on this side, and I can still hear my music, which is pretty cool. And then the last thing I'll say is the way they charge. Now, these have, again, a wireless charging. They're magnetically attached inside the unit, so when they snap inside the unit, they make connection initially. I also like the fact that they've got 2 extra full charges in the base. A lot of these charging kits out there have a battery in the base, but you maybe get 1 charge or 1.5 charges out of it. With this one, I get 5 hours of use out of the product, and I've got 2 full charges in the case, which means I've used them for a couple of weeks now. There hasn't been a day gone by that I didn't get a full day use out of them, which I think is pretty incredible. So that was pretty much it for today. I really appreciate the response we've gotten to these clips. So if you find these valuable, I have a lot more content coming. I just love putting these kind of clips together. So I hope you guys are enjoying them. And until next time, stay nerdy.